Hi everyone, this is Country Music News International, where we speak to the people you need to listen to. So hi everyone, this is Country Music News International. My name is Nigel Sharpe, and I've got the real pleasure this evening. Well, it's evening for me, it isn't for Michael. But I get to speak to Michael Ray today. And we're just talking about some really good news about his latest release, which is Whiskey and Rain, which is now multi-week #1. I just wanted to clear up something about Whiskey and Rain itself.
Okay.
One of the videos I was watching was higher education. Now, if I've got this right, higher education is the name of the EP, which Whiskey and Rain comes from.
Yes, sir.
But higher education was released the middle of last year. Is that right?
I believe it was released August 27th.
Yeah. So I was watching the video of higher education, and of course there's all these guys in this video going, how did he manage to figure that out? So how did you get Billy Gibbons and Lee Brice and all these people and Kid Rock? I mean,
so Tim Montana, who is a co-song, him and I, he's one of my best friends, and we were just playing music back and forth, demos back and forth, like you do sometimes in Nashville. And I knew I wanted a collaboration of some sort. I didn't know what it would be. I was trying, we were writing for it, but I didn't think we had it yet. And I also wanted it to be with people that I'm friends with, and something that we could have kind of like that All My Rowdy Friends moment of Hank Jr. back in the day. And so through Tim Montana knows everybody in the world. I'm pretty positive that he's like everybody's 1 degree of separation from everybody. So he plays me a song, I tell my idea, and he's like, man, we should call Billy. Him and Billy has been good friends for a long time. They're business partners and some stuff. So Billy agreed to do it. And then I met Kid Rock through Tim, and Kid Rock agreed to do it. And then I'd been buddies with Lee for quite some time, and we were all headed to go duck hunting in Arkansas here. And we played it for Lee, and then Lee jumped on it, and it just kind of organically grew. So I got those guys because of Tim Montana. Tim introduced me to him, and then made the call. So it was all Tim's doing, but I'm grateful for it.
Well, it's a sight to see, all of you on the stage or doing a video together. I mean, you must have had a lot of fun doing that video.
We did, man. It's hard not to have fun with all those guys. It was like we honestly, I think, forgot we were shooting a music video there a couple of times. We were just having fun with it, and it was just a good time, man. I mean, it's being able to also have my actual band, my touring band was the band that was playing on stage. So it was cool to get those guys, my guitar players, to meet Billy, and all those guys to meet Kid Rock and be able to talk to those guys. It was a cool, it was a fun, probably one of the most fun videos I've ever shot, honestly.
So where does the song Whiskey and Rain come from? I mean, are you involved in the writing of all your songs, or do you have other sources?
No, I write. I wrote a few on higher education, but I'm also I'm also a product of artists that knew a great outside song. And nowadays it's so hard for songwriters to get cuts due to how just how the music business has changed. It's hard for these songwriters to make a living unless outside cuts are getting are happening. And so as I'm writing, I'm also listening to songs being pitched by the best in the world. Nashville's got the best songwriters in the world. These men and women are writing 2-3 times a day, 7 days a week sometimes to make it happen. So this song in particular, Whiskey and Rain, is a product of that. My manager was, I think she was having dinner or something with one of the writers. They had a meeting, and he was asking if I was still looking, and she said, yeah. And he said, I think that I might have something for the direction that he's going. And so Jesse Frazier is his name, and he co-wrote this with a guy named Josh Thompson. And so she sent it to he sent it to my manager Buffy, and she sent it to me going, I think we got it. Listen to this and let me know. And man, when I heard that, just that signature, made me think of Gary, made me think of old, Haggard, old Bakersfield, Ronnie Millsap. And then it just, as the song kept going, the way that they wrote it in a modern way, but married with this cool, traditional, nostalgic feeling way, like you've heard the song before the first time you heard it. I just fell in love with it. And we knew then, I think we all knew then that was going to be, it was the song to beat for sure, whether we were cutting or writing next, but it was the song that was the #1 spot for the first single from right out of the gate. So,
I mean, where do you see yourself? I mean, do you consider yourself a traditional country artist, or do you think yourself as being one of the new breed, but you've still got kind of roots going back?
Yeah, I mean, I think at my core, I'm a traditional country fan. I grew up on traditional country music, and I'm a traditional country artist when I'm looking and listening to songs. I pull from those influences, listening, one of the first songs I ever learned was Today I Started Loving You Again from Merle Haggard. And then Lady Down on Love was the top of that one. So I grew up with this from 70s to the 80s, 60s style music, but also I'm a product of my raising. I'm a product of the 90s. I'm a product of, the early 2000s. And so I hope I'm an artist that a younger person can listen to my music and hopefully be able to look up a Keith Whitley or the Ronnie Millsaps or whatever that maybe they weren't raised around or talked about, but they hear me say it in interviews. These are some of my influences, and I hope that I can do it with a modern touch that gets those fans to Google and look up those artists and really dive into the men and women that paved the way for us to have the sound now. So I guess to answer your question, I think I'm somewhere in the middle between modern and traditional. And I think I'm just now figuring that out. I think that's why it was kind of blurred for me a little bit, because country music had kind of taken a different spin on it when I came on the scene. And so I was trying to figure out where I fit in that whole situation, and grateful that we discovered it with Whiskey and Rain and the EP Higher Education.
In terms of your career, when do you consider that your career started?
I think my career started whenever we used to play this place. It's no longer there, sadly, but we used to play this place called the Eustis Sunshine Opry, and it was a little replica of the Grand Ole Opry. And on Friday nights, there was open mic night where you could sing 2 songs with a live band and a really great band of professional musicians, some of which had retired to Florida. And then Saturdays, they would have concerts. Well, the winter days, when everybody comes down to Florida for the winter, they would have Bobby Bear, Porter Wagner came through, Ray Price came through. They would have these artists. And then during the summer times, they would have little shows that, local talent around there. So I would go there on Friday nights and do my 2 songs with the band. And then I'd sometimes work the shows on Saturdays. And then they started giving me my own 30-minute show on, once in a while on Saturdays during the summer. So even though that, I think that is where I went, this is what I want to do. I knew what I wanted to, I knew I wanted to do this when I saw Garth Brooks play the dance at the TD Waterhouse in Orlando. And I was about 12 years old. And I looked down there and I saw Garth just hold a arena full of people in the palm of his hand with this acoustic guitar. And I remember just being moved by it when I was 12 years old and going, I don't know what capacity I'll do it in, but I want to do that. I want to do this. He's just taking this entire place out of any problem that they had, and totally focus on that. So that's, I think, mentally where I knew, but physically where I knew this is where I wanted to do was when I was playing those shows when I was 14, 15 years old, 16 years old at the Opry on Friday nights, and then started playing bars and started growing there. That's where I think my career started, because it was able to teach me a lot of things. And I was allowed to mess up, allowed to learn sound and allowed to learn all this stuff at that time in that bar scene in my hometown. So I believe my career started then, and I've been grinding at it ever since.
Yeah, so you paid your dues, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think it was Randy Travis that said he was a 10-year overnight success.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Where have you been to over here in Europe?
We've yet to be to Germany, so that's a place I've always wanted to go. But we've been to Birmingham, we've been to London, we've been to Scotland. Ireland's a bucket list place I want to go. My family's my family's history is based in Ireland. So I want to go there. We've been able to tour all the way over to Australia, over there a couple of times. And man, being able to go and we went one time as a headliner, and me and my guitar player went with just bar stools and kind of just brought kind of a songwriter's feel to the stage and just acoustic, kind of like how it all started for me here in the States. And and to see fans, I say it all the time to people that have yet to be over there to experience it. They're like, man, is it like they say? And I'm like, it's better. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but yes, it is how they say, but it's even better because, I mean, I was getting asked afterwards, we would be signing and people would be like, why didn't you play this song? And it was some song I wrote when I was like in my early 20s. I didn't even know anybody's ever really heard it, but the way that y'all just listen to every word and dive into the history of the artist and the music, it's just really cool and real inspiring when you leave over there. Just makes you want to continue writing and you can't wait to get back. So the last couple of years has been rough on us, not being able to get over there and see you guys. Our hearts have been with y'all and we've been thinking about y'all.
What about new releases coming up? Are there any plans for that?
Yeah, so the next single is going to be Holy Water off the Higher Education EP. We actually shoot the music video here soon back in my hometown. And then we'll be going back in the studio. We actually have some meetings with the team to go over songs that I've written, songs that we have on hold to narrow down, to get back in the studio. So we don't have a date for the studio time yet, but we'll be going back in here somewhere in the next few months in the studio to start cutting the next half of the EP. But the big news now is Holy Water's coming to radio soon, and probably one of the coolest videos I've ever shot. We're about to shoot here in a couple of weeks. So I'm excited for everybody to be able to, check that out and see that and have Holy Water coming through their speakers.
Great. Well, I'm going to look forward to that. So on behalf of Country Music News International, my name is Nigel Sharpe. I've been talking to Michael Ray. Michael, thanks so much for taking the time. I know you've got a really busy schedule, and we really do appreciate that you do take that time. And we wish you all the best for 2022. Have some great gigs and continued success with Whiskey and Rain and Holy Water coming out really soon. Looking forward to that, and the video, of course. And if you meet him again, please say hi to Billy Gibbons.
I will.
I'm still waiting for him to sign my Telecaster.
I'll tell him.
Very
I'll tell him
important.
he's got work to do.
Okay, you take care, and I'll say goodbye.
Thank you for the time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.